Hello everyone, welcome to How Not to K-Pop 2020 Awards. Yeah! Woo! Woo.
Oh, alright, yeah, let's do it.
2020.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Sure, Happy New Year, yes. Happy 2021. Happy wherever you are. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. Because 2020 is a year we are all happy is over.
Nice. That's true.
But it is a very special year for us, Henry, isn't it?
I'm not sure what.
Oh, how? Well,
yes,
Henry, it's our debut. It's our debut year. It is the year we debuted How Not to K-Pop.
All right. We started, September? We started, October? I'm not sure now, shit.
We started. That's what
We started, that's true. So, Sean, when was our first episode released?
It was November. We released our first episode middle of November.
Yeah, so that's the first episode, November. That was AOA.
Yeah.
And we actually recorded that episode weeks back. I would say 5 weeks back. So we officially started. How Not to K-Pop officially began back in October. Early October, actually.
No, that's right. That is absolutely right. And we'd been planning it for a little bit during the worst of the lockdown, during the pandemic that was COVID. Yeah. For anyone listening way in the future, there was this horrible pandemic due to a virus called COVID-19.
in case you don't believe it. It's just the flu. I'm like, yeah, nah, it's not, mate. Nice try.
Absolutely. And we're doing these deep dives in scandals in the K-pop industry. Scandalous, sexy, salacious K-pop stars. That's who we look at. And the people have enjoyed it so far. So thank you all for tuning in, listening to our shows, supporting them in any way you can. It's been amazing so far. Like, we beat our expectations and then some, so.
Yeah, we exceeded 100 listens before the end of the year without any sort of marketing.
Woo, we sure did,
That's crazy. I mean, I was confident we would have gotten at most 30 listens,
right.
At best.
Right,
best.
So like 5 a week roughly, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, and they're like by accidents. or a bot. That's what it was.
So for this award show, to show our thanks, we're giving you an award show as a special treat.
Panda Year of 2020. We're going to be celebrating the best and the worst that 2020 has had to offer in the world of K-pop. So
yep, let's kick this award show off. Let's do it. Let's start. Okay, the worst re-debut. First award out of the rank. So this is the group that debuted in 2020, but we really wish they didn't because they were so freaking bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Here's the thing. So each of the categories have 4 contestants, we'll say, or nominees, and these 4 were. They were cringe heavy. They were just horrible in their own way. Not saying they're just bad. It's not like they're trying to rip on the K-pop industry. This is subjective. But I felt very, how do I say? I felt ashamed that I listened to K-pop after listening to these 4 nominees.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It just made me feel kind of sick to my stomach and made me realize how cringy every now and then K-pop really can be. Not just the fans, but the musicians themselves, and the music itself can be so cringy.
How far companies are willing to go just to get the new trend in for the world of K-pop, trying to make the dough, make the money.
All right, let's check out our nominees. First up, Kids Dream. Regarding Kids Dream. It's called Dreaming Way. And look, it's a bunch of kids, so I'm not going to shit on them too much because it's literally kids, and I think it's awesome that they got out there into the K-pop world. That's kind of amazing that they released a song at the age of like 8. That's really cool. But the song's just, it's just bad.
I'm sorry. For me, it's not that it's not just that it's bad. It's the fact it's cringy.
Yeah,
and it's like little kids trying to be late teens, early 20s K-pop stars, and it reminds me of those American trash TV.
Yeah,
kids.
I think that because I watched the music video, and I think that the issue for me was I didn't really see them doing like a really well put together dance or anything like that, and their voices, at least mix wise, were so overly auto tuned that honestly, I actually don't know what they actually sound like. I don't know what their actual voices are. That's how heavy the auto tune was. So I just don't see any authenticity in this at all. It just feels like a company exploiting these kids.
Yeah, exactly that. So the first nominee, Re-Kid's Dream. The problem is exploitation. It's probably not exploitation.
Right.
But
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure the kids went through training and all this stuff. But come on, guys, this ain't right.
Well, speaking of training, our next nominee is Episode, who previously were known as Vitamin Angel. This is where the re-debut comes in.
Yes, that's right.
So it's called Open My Door. It was released in February this year, so only just as COVID was taking a hold of the world. So no excuse. Because this song is, once again, just a bit, it's not really a good tune. It's just not catchy, and it switches beats and switches melodies so often that I was kind of just confused the whole way through.
It was a mess. I agree. Confusion all the way around, and it's a music video that I don't even remember. Like, for me to describe, I have to go on YouTube right now, search it up. It's episode Open My Door is the release song.
Right.
Open My Door. So I'm typing it in, and the quality of the video itself compared to your other debuts,
right?
Even Re-Kid's Dream had, you could tell they put money into it.
The video looks fantastic, looks wise, aesthetic wise. Yeah.
But when you look at Episode with Open My Door, you can tell it's an amateur. It's like an amateur copy of a typical K-pop,
yeah, like CLC
video.
Or even maybe a Mamamoo, even a little bit, or Dreamcatcher. All of those groups, it's just a lesser version of it, and that's disappointing because these girls, these members of Episode, have been performing as Vitamin Angel previously for 4 years. This is their 5th year of existence. So wouldn't the company have, I don't know, just upgraded everything by now or improved somehow? So it's disappointing. It's like the biggest disappointment. Yeah.
Just at least change their style or something.
Right.
It doesn't seem like. Just check out the song "Open My Door" by Episode. It's really meh at best. You'll probably close it in like 15 seconds. And this group debuted back in 2015. Okay, as Vitamin Angel, and the songs weren't even that great from the full time, I believe.
Right.
So it's really unfortunate. So this just shows how just because you debut doesn't mean you're good. Doesn't mean you're capable. Doesn't mean your songs and your music videos and whatnot are top quality.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they had. Here's the thing: they had won awards and nominations. For like they're gonna be like next generation or like rookie of the year.
They won rookie of the year. Yeah, right. As Vitamin Angel. Yeah.
Other than that, it doesn't say anything about their songs or their abilities or anything like that. So you had cringe for kids, and now you have boring mess for this girl group Episode. And this is our second nominee.
Okay, our next nominee is Kaachi with Your Turn. And this group is not K-pop, kind of, in a way. They're a group that they use Hangul for their name on all their titles, and for their music videos on YouTube, they've got the Hangul for their name. But as far as I know, all the members are from London, right? They're British.
So they're the first European and first British K-pop girl group. Most likely, they are all from Britain.
Which feels a little bit weird. However, I do respect that they seem to have some Korean in them.
Yeah,
at least almost all of the members do, yeah.
Yeah, so one of the members, Coco, she's South Korean. The other members, so you have Nicole. So there's 4 members.
Right.
Okay, so you have Nicole, who's Venezuelan Spanish. You have the South Korean singers, Coco. You have Danny, who is a British singer and rapper. And then finally you have Chunso, and she is a Spanish Filipino singer and rapper. Even though the name's Korean, she's not Korean.
Well, so this is an interesting concept, I think, overall. I think it's cool that someone has tried this, because it was going to happen eventually. Someone was going to do this. And we already had Chad Future. We already had Chad Future a few years back, that American guy.
What the hell is a Chad Future? What are you talking about?
The American guy that was doing K-pop type songs and sort of performing with K-pop idols. I don't know where he is now, honestly. That'll be for a future episode, probably. But Kaachi are the now of that. And the songs are a bit not quite there. So that's sort of what makes it cringe.
You could say it's like a whitewashing of K-pop.
Well, yeah, and that bothers me too. It sort of brings up all these colonialism and stuff like that, which, once again, that's another discussion that we could talk for hours about. Yeah. And yeah, Kaachi, their debut, pretty weak.
In a way, Kaachi represents the dream of every K-pop fan who wants to be an idol. Yeah?
Fair. And that's very fair, yeah.
It also represents the fact that it might not be as easy as you think. Just because you debut in the South Korean music scene, there are things that might not work. And one of them just happens to be race. I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but if you have, let's say, a white person play an Asian character, then, all right, people's going to talk about whitewashing. But if it's not important, it wouldn't be known as a K-pop group. It would just be a pop group.
No, I sort of know what you mean. Like, it's that sort of drawing attention to it, which Kaachi are sort of doing. They're sort of drawing attention to the K-pop influence, which I guess they have, which is a strong influence. And that's what makes you bring up these thoughts of whitewashing and discussions of racism and stuff. Yeah.
It'd be great if you had different cultures and whatnot into the music scene of K-pop.
Of course.
It's just this is an example where it doesn't really work. And that's our third nominee, Kaachi. They released the song Your Turn. This was debuted in April 15 this year, 2020. So if you guys really want to check it out, you can check it out on YouTube. And then we're up to our final nominee. Who is it?
The Twitch streamers. Tier 4, they're called. And it's called Bang Bang. They also have another song, Summer. Well, whatever. It's a terrible song. I guess it's smart, like a business move, business-wise. It's very smart to expand what you're in, not just purely Twitch. By being on other platforms and doing other media, it's a smart business move, because we all know nothing lasts forever. Twitch isn't going to be around forever. YouTube's not going to be around forever. Podcasting is not going to be around forever. But Tier 4, it becomes a question of not can you make music, but should you? Should you perform? Should you dance? Should you sing? Should you rap?
Those are really specific things, Sean. What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that it was a letdown overall. Those elements in this song, across all of these songs, as an engineer, something I picked up on is the vocals in all of these songs are mixed fairly low in the track. So the other instruments are kind of burying the vocals, and that's kind of telling. That's kind of an indication that they may be lacking a little bit, because otherwise you want your vocals to shine in any mix.
Well, you could tell. I guess the thing about Tier 4, I don't know if Tier 4 is actually part of a. Well, here's the thing: Tier 4 is not part of any label, so they're independent. They're on their own. The stuff they make, that's what they did for themselves, which is great.
I do respect that. Yeah,
absolute respect. There was another girl who did something like that, and her name was Mikami Yua, and she got a lot of flack. You can search it up later. Not important right now.
True.
Tier 4 Twitch streamers. They did the stuff themselves, which is great. The problem was they overestimated their abilities because they wanted to be like K-pop idols in this, to show off that style of current K-pop music video and the dance and stuff. The problem is that Tier 4 can't dance. And when you shoot the dance scenes, if you can dance, the dance will look great. You don't need to do many cuts. But if you can't dance, it'll look horrible. There's no power in their moves. They're dancing, but what they're really doing is just moving to the beat. They're not actually dancing. There's no emotion. There's no feeling. That's it. They're just doing the choreography. And that's not what dancers do. So they can't dance there, and they highlight that, which is very unfortunate. And that gets stuck in my mind. That's what I keep remembering. Everything else I don't care for. It's just that. And I love watching dance practices, so that really turned me off. I'm sorry, Tier 4.
Here's the thing about with this whole award show and the worst of. So, yes, we are shitting on all these people, but here's the thing, like, these people take up your time if you choose to look them up. And there's so much music and so much Twitch content and so much YouTube in the world that don't waste your time on this stuff, you know? Like, it's a disservice to your life to waste precious minutes on this kind of content that clearly needed a little more effort or needed a little more money, a little more resources. Because in this new world, there's just so much great content out there that you got to step up your game if you want to debut anything now. The bar is being raised, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Here's the thing: it's like it's great they're able to debut,
right?
They're able to get into the industry, but it's unfortunate that the debut just wasn't what they wanted, to be honest.
All right, let's pick a winner. So, How Not to K-Pop's worst debut winner.
We should actually say it together. We should do a countdown: 3, 2, 1, and then say.
Sounds good. All right.
All right. Well, so we'll do it for the next one.
I'll count. All
right.
3, 2, 1. Episode.
Oh, jeez. So, episode being the mess, being a re-debut as well. It really is unfortunate for them because I'm sure when they debuted first as Vitamin Angel, they probably had a higher budget too. So to watch them fall like this, even though it's a debut, they should be rising again. To me, it feels like they're falling even more. I didn't know it was possible.
Yeah, it's a huge disappointment overall, to summarize. Yeah, just massively disappointing and weak. Yeah.
So this brings us to our next category.
Best debut.
Woo! This is
right.
this is probably Sean's favorite.
It's nice to have some positivity after all that negativity.
Yeah, because it's funny because How Not to K-Pop actually focuses on the negative industry, and more specifically every idol or group. So sorry, guys.
All right, so How Not to K-Pop's best debut nominees are Aespa, Black Mamba, because that was a super cool idea or concept that KDA's already done. But anyway, it's super cool to see this attempt at a virtual or like a VR type character or idol. That's a really cool idea that SM have brought out. So I get that they're a powerhouse, one of the big three and all that. So the resources they had a lot, but very cool song, very cool idea. I'm very interested in Aespa.
I really didn't give a crap about the avatar thing. I mean, you if you search up stuff like VTubers, you get plenty of them from Japan, and they do that kind of avatar sort of work is really good because they use the avatar as a way to talk to people and play games and stuff. The way that SM does it with Aespa, their avatars is more like it's an avatar doing the same thing they do. It's really not that different. And what I mean is, if they're going to dance and sing, their avatar's going to dance and sing. That's really it. They're not going to sit in front of the computer and talk to their fans through the avatar. You know what I mean?
Nah,
So
right on, right on. I do
so
appreciate that, but
it's great. It's great that they're going with this new avatar route because it is interesting. You might get something new, experience something new.
yeah.
But yeah, for me, what's good about it was their debut song. The
Oh, the
debut for
song,
that track.
okay.
Yeah. See, I don't necessarily like songs immediately. I have to listen to it more often from time to time to really get a feel of it. Aespa took me 2 listens. First listen, I was like, okay. Second listen, I'm like, oh yeah. So Aespa for me felt like a mix of like Blackpink and Red Velvet. That mix of the YG and the SM and a proper meld, and then you have Aespa. That's what I feel. That's what I get from
I
Aespa.
fully agree. That is the vibe, and I'm loving it. So I'm super stoked on where this group will go in the future with the addition of the virtual idol stuff. I think it's very cool. And who knows, it could be, SM could be setting a precedent or being the pioneers of something that's the norm in 5, 10, 15 years' time. So very cool.
Anyway, first nominee, that's Aespa, Black Mamba, released in November 17.
Next up is Treasure with Boy. That was released August, and look, it's because it's YG this time, right?
With Treasure, I believe so, yeah.
And it's YG, so it's good. I don't know. Overall, I wasn't like, whoa, what an amazing group. But yeah, it's a good track. They're talented. YG, cool.
That's it. That's it. It's another icon.
Well, yeah, precisely.
Up next for our third and fourth nominees.
Yeah, in a way, there's sort of one nomination in how similar their concept is. So we've got Sake first up, or Sake if you prefer, or Sak 3 if you prefer, with an awesome song called Beach Again. And this is, so let's see, Hyori, Rain, and your boy, the nation's MC, Suk, together in a song. It's great.
Hyori is like one of the last generation's best, like almost number one K-pop idol.
As far as solo idols go, also, like she had a very successful solo career. Yeah.
So it's like each generation of K-pop, you name a name, and they represent that generation. Like Girls' Generation, or Super Junior, right, or Big Bang, 2NE1. They represent a specific generation, a specific time interval, like between late 2000s to like mid 2010s. Like that's a generation. With Hyori, she represented the time before that. So early 2000s.
Good point. That's
mid
so
to
true.
late 2000s, right? Hyori is before Girls' Generation. Rain is the same deal.
Rain as well, right? So, and then you've got Suk, who's kind of just always been around. Like he's been doing variety for many years.
Here's the thing, though. Suk is not an idol. He's not a singer. Very different from Rain and Hyori.
Right.
Suk is an MC. He's a comedian.
Right.
He that's all he does. So Sak 3, whatever you want to call it, is from a variety show. You need someone who's got variety experience in comedy, who can help enhance the show. Thus, Suk, the nation's MC, so he's nicknamed, and for good reason, because he's really damn good.
Yeah,
Thus,
right on. Like they absolutely nailed their concept, I noticed, and they weren't afraid to be on the lighter side of things and sort of poke fun and parody K-pop, especially the first generation, second generation. And that was just so nice to see in 2020, of course. It was so nice to see something lighthearted.
All right, our final nominee. Who is it? Number 4. Who is it?
Refund Sisters with Don't Touch Me. Now, this one, so here's the thing. They're another parody group born out of the exact same show as Sake, and they even feature Hyori as well. And their song, Don't Touch Me, is awesome. Really good sort of electro-y, I guess second generation kind of feel banger.
I listened to it, but I didn't really listen to it. I was just kind of like, and it just went through the other ear. It's the style of music. This just wasn't really my
sad.
And it's Refund sisters. They have already debuted, and then they come together for a variety show to create another group to debut again in this show.
Right.
So, it works. They're already popular. They have fans already. Suddenly, their fans come together to create a new fan base. Apparently, the song's good. I don't know because it's not my kind of song, but apparently it's good. And the people that they've put in the group, they're also very attractive women. And I don't mean physically. I don't just mean physically. I mean like their personalities, the way they handle conversation, and the variety style of shows that they are on. They have the personality. They have the charisma. And
yeah, totally. Like Jessie in particular is featured in this group, and Mamamoo, both very funny people. Yeah,
exactly. So this is a group where, just like SAK3 or Sake, I guess, variety shows creates groups, and you just let the group members take care of themselves, and it works.
Right. So who wins?
Well, obviously, I don't think SAK3 and Refund sisters should win.
All right.
because these guys, they're powerhouses in their own rights. And also, Hyori is in both SAK3 or Sake and Refund sisters. Come on. You might as well just say Hyori is the winner.
Okay, so after that disqualification, the award winner for best debut is Aespa.
I thought we were going to do a countdown.
No, that was the silence where I put I'm putting silence for drum rolls. Not
God
a countdown. Oh, wait, we're meant to say it together. No, right, I get you. Okay.
Keep this part because it's funny. Don't start deleting shit. There's no need.
Right. Okay. All right. No, let's count.
No. Aespa. So why? There is no why. It just is, okay? Aespa is number one against the other three.
Well, here's why. It ticks all the boxes, doesn't it? Which SM you sort of expect to do. But regardless of that, if you take that away from it, if this was a debut from any company, it stands on its own. Like, objectively, it's a good song, good concept, great looking group, aesthetically and just in general. They're beautiful girls. It's great. It's just a fantastic debut. It's such a strong debut. No wonder they got millions of plays on YouTube and, yeah, the whole thing.
Woo!
Okay, perfect male specimen is the next category. And Henry, you actually researched this by getting a bit of a list up from StarMometer, 100 sexiest men of 2020. And you crunched some numbers. You looked at some beautiful men for a while.
Yep.
Just your casual Saturday.
Quite quickly, yep.
And you've narrowed it down to 4 men.
Yeah, I have.
We have, the nominees are BTS's Suga. Wow. He is amazing, but in terms of height, he is slightly lacking. So this is a slightly surprising choice. We've got GOT7's Jackson, a little bit of a Kanto flavor in there for you, Henry.
The choice for Jackson's GOT7, apparently he got like 18,063 votes. Jackson.
Well, he's got a great angular face, so like to me, he has a very pretty face.
Okay.
And then we've got GOT7's Mark, who for me is quite a beautiful human, but especially his voice is my ideal male voice. It's deep, it's got that crackle. I really like it. And the final nominee is Unique Wang Yibo. Now this guy is, well, he sums up the award name. I can't really say anything else. Like, he's just one of those people that you see, kind of like Siwon of Super Junior. Like, he's just sort of that. He's that classic, beautiful man.
Yeah, there's really not much to go with when you follow the StarMometer's 100 sexiest men of 2020, because all they give you is just votes. But
either way,
yeah.
I thank them for doing that. It helped us immensely with this particular segment. But let's pick a winner.
Well, the thing is, I know of BTS, I know of GOT7, I don't really know of Unique. Personally, I'd actually be removing Unique. That's me. Like, Unique's out. It's between BTS and GOT7 at this very moment. So I have to look up. I've got pictures on another browser right now. One is Jackson, one is Mark, one is Sugar. So we're looking at the perfect male specimen.
Let me ask you about Sugar. Like, first impressions, assuming you've never really known who specifically he is, despite you having seen BTS. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on Sugar?
So I don't care.
All right, let's pick a winner.
I'm not into guys.
That's fine.
Guys.
Moving on. Yep.
Okay.
The winner.
Yeah, this is your winner.
Okay.
This is your winner. I'm sorry.
Sean's winner for perfect male specimen is 3, 2, 1. Mark.
I should have just straight up laughed instead of said the name with you. Oh well.
Look, it's simple. His voice is probably the biggest part for me, but he also, like, he does have a great body. He's super talented. He writes some of his own lyrics. There's just nothing really stopping me from picking him as perfect male specimen.
All right. Well, here's the thing. Because we're limited to 2020, and we had to use the Starmometer to really narrow it down. Otherwise, the list would be crazy long, and we'd have to get the help of our female colleagues, female friends, to really help pick out 4.
Not fair.
Sexy men. Right. Yeah. See, I would have chosen Rain. If it wasn't specifically 20. Technically, I could have chosen Rain because
he was with Sake.
Debuted.
Yeah.
Debuted. Look, Rain, he's the world star, the man who paved the way for future K-pop generations like BTS, Blackpink, Psy, to enter the Western music scene. So he's a loving father. He's a husband. He's 38 and still sings and dances like when he was at his prime, almost. So Rain would have been my pick. If I could add a perfect male specimen, Rain is that guy. That's who I'd choose. I think Rain would kick Mark's ass.
I get you. Like, all those points you just listed, you can't say for Mark. That's not right. Traits he has.
Hell yeah.
Dang.
Rain should win.
All right. Perfect female specimen.
This is my category.
This is right. So the last award was my award in many ways.
Yeah. I had to choose those guys. I chose those guys for you, sure.
Oh, thanks. This is a really interesting list you got of nominees because it's based on the votes of lesbian women.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting to me on their taste because I don't really know many lesbians, so I'm curious on how they see K-pop idols or female idols, any idol in general. I'm very curious on their opinion. And the nominees honestly sort of match what I would imagine guys would think as well.
What? What do you think?
Oh, of these perfect female idols going down the list. Like Mamamoo's Moonbyul is one of the nominees. WJSN's Sola.
Or Cosmic Girls, I believe WJSN is meant to stand for.
Right. Red Velvet's Irene and Seulgi.
So we had to separate them because they were in competition with each other.
No, right.
Yeah. So here's the thing. When it came to the top 99 hottest female K-pop idols chosen by lesbian women of South Korea, the number one they've chosen is Seulgi, Red Velvet Seulgi. She had 1,196 votes. Second place was Red Velvet Irene. But I personally, who would I choose as a winner? I don't choose Seulgi. I actually choose Irene. I like Irene.
Shit, I agree.
Wait, what?
No, I really do. No, wait, let me rephrase. Okay, specifically regarding those 2 votes between Seulgi and Irene, so a 50-50, I do pick Irene over Seulgi. But out of these 4, I pick Moonbyul.
How come?
So what she has that these other nominees don't have is a bit of an edge, a bit of spiciness in her personality and the way she presents herself. For example, Mamamoo might have a concept where they're all wearing, I don't know, short shorts or skirts. Moonbyul's wearing pants. You know what I mean? She's making that statement of power and boldness. Right?
Oh my god! So I'm getting the impression that you like masculine things.
No, because that's the thing.
You like tomboys.
That's the thing. She has this extremely feminine face, sort of baby faced.
Uh-huh.
And so there's this this gap of her presenting with power, but having soft feminine features physically that I just find kind of becomes this nice duality that brings out a certain sexiness.
Well, I think Moonbyul and Red Velvet Seulgi would actually be in quite a competition with each other. I believe Seulgi can give off that style as well.
Fair, just not for me personally. Yeah.
Yeah. But notice that we haven't actually talked about WJSN's Solar or Cosmic Girls Solar.
So, as attractive as her features are physically, and also her performances and all of that, she is. I've seen that type of idol quite a few times. I don't really see a uniqueness to her or a quirk that makes her stand out. That's all.
Right. So it's a style or look that's common in the top tier of.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so she is a well-packaged human. Like, she does look great and all of that, but there's nothing super special standing out for me with her.
I still think Red Velvet Irene, she's cute, she's adorable, she's a leader. She's strong. She's got attitude when she wants it. She can be cute and funny, and she needs to take the lead. She'll take the lead, and I like that in a woman. You know, someone who's adaptable. And Irene is an adaptable kind of woman. I've seen her dance. You know, the cute stuff. But then you watch. There was a clip that she released of her dancing this Western song, something that's much more mature, much more seductive, and she was so good at it. She was perfect. That is Red Velvet Irene. She's my choice.
So in a way, you're sort of picking her due to how talented she is as an idol. She just idols really well.
Damn right. I mean, she had to compete with Seulgi, who happens to be in the same group as her. Seulgi has a lot of skill especially when it comes to dancing. But you have to understand that Seulgi and Irene they didn't debut, but they released a pre-debut track together. So they were not one and the same, but they were together. They were a pair.
So just like with the perfect male specimen, how you chose Rain if 2020 wasn't part of the criteria, what about females? So if 2020 was not... Wait, if we weren't specifically picking out 2020 best of, who do you pick as the perfect female specimen?
So if there was a tier 5, if there was a nominee number 5, I would pick Hyosung a former member of this girl group called Secret. Now, who is Hyosung? What is this secret? Well, just watch the MV for this group. The song name is Poison. The group is called Secret. And you will see why she stands out. You will pick out literally which one is Hyosung. So here's something even more specific. In the music video, 49 seconds in, you'll see it. Or you can watch a solo music video, Goodnight Kiss. Either way, that's Hyosung. She has the proportions. A lot of K-pop idols are very thin, but Hyosung has figure. She's got bust and ass. She has a body. She has a face. As in, it looks great. They all match. It's just perfect, man. She can sing and dance. Her voice is seductive. It's very soft, but at the same time, it's sexy. She moves sexy. Her moves are so good. Anything she does just enhances her. And oh my god, you know, I'm blank now. That's what she does to me. She just makes my mind go to heaven.
I do agree that she oozes sexiness, and also kudos to the company for doing what they can to accentuate her great assets and those good parts of her.
Oh my god, those assets are.
But I gotta go with Hyuna, who we did do an episode on previously, just because she is so good at K-pop. Everything about her that at this point in her career, she kind of encapsulates K-pop. And for a lot of people, is literally their definition of what K-pop is. Her sound, her voice, her performance, her concepts. So Hyuna wins for me.
Well, Hyo-sung doesn't do what Hyuna does as well. And Hyuna doesn't do what Hyo-sung does.
Not quite, but to say that Hyuna hasn't crossed into a sexy concept is a lie.
Well, no,
she has.
That's not what I mean. Not the sexy. It's the fact that with Hyo-sung, it's not in your face sexy. Hyo-sung doesn't get on her knees and just start doing body rolls compared to Hyuna, who does that with a leash on. By the way. In a music video with 3 other girls. It's in Red Lips, I think it's called. Yeah. Hyo-sung, her style is much more, you could say reserved. Hyuna's much more in your face. She'll just straight up show it to you like that, you know?
We'll argue about it later, because I fully disagree that Hyo-sung hasn't done in your face sexy a little bit.
At least not by choice.
But she has done in your face. Anyway, we'll argue about this later. Okay, final
Why?
award.
Have you seen her in a bikini? But we have to pick from the 4. So the 4 nominees,
yep.
Let's go through it again. It's Cosmic Girls or WJSN, Solar. You've got second nominee, Moonbyul of MAMAmoo. You've got third nominee, Irene of Red Velvet. And then our fourth nominee, Seulgi of Red Velvet again. So who's our award winner? Who is our perfect female specimen? Sean, take it away.
The winner is Irene.
Okay.
It's Irene. What did you made a noise? Yeah. What?
I was like, when are you going to count down?
Oh.
God damn it. Yes, my girl wins.
Irene takes this one. Partly because she got more votes than my choice, Moonbyul, but also you were very convincing, Henry. Good job.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. I deserve the award as well.
So the final award is 2020's Most Scandalous. Now, this award, like it's the entire point of our show, sort of.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So It's been a crazy year. It has. And there's been quite a few scandals in this crazy, crazy year, which is weird because shouldn't everyone be at home? But anyway, all these people that were going to list managed to do all this stuff this year, and that's a little disturbing as well as scandalous. Yes.
So here's the thing. 3 of the nominees that are in this list, of the 4, 3 of the 4, they're scandals we haven't actually gone through yet. We haven't talked about it yet.
Okay, so the first nominee, Red Velvet's Irene, which was this very juicy revelation. It was a juicy reveal by a former staff member at SM that worked with Red Velvet, who basically spilled the tea on one of the members having an attitude problem and being very, very rude and princessy and not respecting the staff. It took about 30 seconds for netizens to figure out that member was Irene. So yeah, Red Velvet's Irene with the attitude problem.
So our perfect female specimen has an attitude problem. Hey, I also said that was like one thing that's attractive about her, having a bit of attitude.
Moving on. Okay.
Well, that's true. No, what? You gotta have some sort of personality other than just being nice.
So here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Irene was in some ways singled out in that this more should be taken as highlighting a common problem in the industry, which is certain idols being rude towards other staff members that they perceive as lower than them. Right? Like, as much as what Irene did was wrong and she should get in trouble for it and be lambasted, it's somewhat common in the K-pop industry for idols to be rude.
Which is very, very stupid, because the idols are with their, stylists and hairdressers, whatever, all the time. They're the ones who probably know the idols the most detailed, compared to like even their families, because most of the time the idols don't see their family, don't see their parents for 5 years, maybe even 7 years, because of the work that they do. So, man, it's a bad decision to have to be a real asshole when you're around your stylist, who's probably around you all the friggin' time.
Right on.
Yeah. If Irene really does have that bad of an attitude, then, man, maybe she's not the perfect female specimen I was thinking.
So the second who could easily have been in the perfect male specimen category, EXO's Chanyeol. Once again, SM. Interesting.
But let's find out why he's not the perfect male specimen.
Well, the reason he's in the most scandalous category is because it was revealed by a former, I believe an ex-girlfriend, that Chanyeol, well, not only has he been dating, but he's actually had affairs and cheated on her throughout years. This to me was pretty big, yet I didn't see that much on it, and EXO is still a thing, and I don't know, life is just sort of carrying on in a way. So,
well, first of all, you have one woman calling herself the ex-girlfriend of Chanyeol telling this. Have the other girls said the same thing? Is there any...
I'm sure more will be revealed over time. This is somewhat recent. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the information. Like, at the moment, sure, the reason he cheats on women, I'm like, well, there are people who aren't idols who cheat on women. There are people who are billionaires who cheat on their wives. To me, what Chanyeol's doing is not good. It's just not that big of a deal compared to some of the scandals that we've talked about. Actually, if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out our older episodes on our podcast. So, How Not to K-pop. We've gone through a few already.
Okay, so this third nominee, biggest group of 2020, easily, without doubt. Yeah. BTS, RM, and basically he made some weird comments about the Korean War that offended China. It sort of snowballed into a bigger deal than it probably should have been. RM got in a little bit of trouble, basically.
This is to do with patriotism, I guess. Oh, in a way, it can be related to patriotism. It gets political. Political shit is a really big shit, and it's not something you want to be getting into, especially if you're an idol and you want to have, a strong fan base and have an audience in the country that you might end up offending by being a little bit patriotic. That is much more bigger of a deal compared to Chanyeol cheating on some girls. And
I sort of get that, like you aggravated or you offended a country.
Here's the thing with BTS RM, if he wanted to, he could have sparked a war between Korea and China, South Korea and China, if he really went with it, to a point where suddenly China's forcing South Korea to apologize on behalf of BTS RM because it offends them. And then South Korea goes, no, it's just freedom of speech. And then suddenly China's like, well, we don't do freedom of speech, and they have war. So that's the thing. That can actually lead to something pretty bad. Irene having a little spat with her stylist won't mean crap. Chanyeol having a little spat with multiple women don't mean crap in the large scheme of things. BTS RM, Korean War, patriotism, offending China, yes, that could have pretty big circumstances that involves countries.
We did, and we saw that. We saw the effects of that in that big hit. BTS's company had just gone public on the Korean stock market, and their debut was pretty bad in that their stocks went down because of these comments and the furor that had been happening. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Unfortunately, the nature of being an idol is you do have to watch what you say, and something that to you might not be offensive, because keep in mind that RM was addressing the West in this speech.
Yeah.
And I think the problem was that he sort of omitted China in a way that could be offensive. So yeah, it just snowballed, and poor RM got caught up in this through an honest mistake that he didn't even think of, really. I suspect that he really thought it would be safe and okay to say it, and it ended up not being. Whoops.
Exactly. So those three. So we had nominee number 1, Irene, of Red Velvet with an attitude problem. We have second nominee, Chanyeol of EXO. Apparently he's cheating on women. And then we just talked about our third nominee, RM of BTS, to do with the Korean War, patriotism, offending China. Those three, with their scandals, we had yet to go through. So those will be episodes in their own rights that'll be coming up on How Not to K-pop. But our fourth nominee right now, this one we've done. This one would be my choice as the winner. Sean, who is it?
AOA's Jimin and the whole bullying meltdown that occurred, which was rough. It was rough. In particular, the member Mina saying how basically she revealed it all. She opened the floodgates by posting on Instagram this long post about how Jimin was bullying her and being quite a dominating, abusive leader. Wow.
Not just that. It was promoted, not necessarily promoted in the work culture, but it became something in their work culture where even a CEO or the manager, I forgot which one, but they were together and allowed the bullying. Mina
it does show that the culture was suffering in that management didn't get on top of that kind of stuff straight away, because these managers are with the idols a lot of the time, so they would have seen at least 1 or 2 incidents and just looked the other way, and that's so totally wrong. You got to really put a stop to bullying almost straight away. Just shut it down.
Yeah. And this wasn't something they did, maybe in a few months. No, this went for years. And you don't notice the signs, actually, of this abusiveness that Jimin has been doing to Mina until Mina released it to the public, and then people went back to their older videos and then started noticing things that Jimin would do when she was with Mina. For example, ignoring Mina, or when an interviewer asked a question, Jimin would just take the mic away from Mina. A lot of disrespectful stuff. It's hidden. It's very subtle. You don't notice it. But now that you know of the situation that Jimin bullies Mina, even though Jimin's meant to be a leader who leads the group, and you start to notice these little things when you watch those old clips again, and you realize, holy crap, this has been Jimin bullying Mina has been going on for a while. This is our fourth nominee, AOA's Jimin, with her bullying on Mina. And it was not pretty bad. It was really bad. Okay.
Chanyeol, though, for me, spent years cheating, allegedly. So I'm going to sort of throw him as my vote for the winner. But you see Jimin as the winner, yeah?
I say Jimin, AOA Jimin, as the award winner, the most scandalous for 2020.
All right, I'm going to pick one in about 10 seconds. So, the award for 2020's Most Scandalous goes to 3, 2, 1. Jimin.
Oh.
Very good. Yep.
I was expecting you to say Chanyeol. You were
so here's the thing about Chanyeol is there's more to be revealed with it.
Right.
We just don't know the full story, and we don't know the full story with Jimin, to be fair, but we know a decent amount of information at this point to basically say she was a bully and that's wrong. Yeah, that's very scandalous.
That's it. That's it, man. It's scandalous as frick.
That was the last award, which brings us to the end of the award show, Henry. We got there.
All right, so how not to K-pop's 2020 awards of how not to K-pop.
Why did you fumble on?
I know, because I forgot. I forgot the name of the show.
How not to K-pop's 2020 awards. How is that hard to say?
I'm sorry, man. It's not meant to be as hard as some of the decisions that we had to make in regards to some of these categories.
Very true.
I'm really interested in. So to you guys who are listening, who would you pick as your, perfect male specimen? No, so our categories, worst debut. Who would you pick for that for 2020? Actually, who would you pick as your worst debut, in the history of K-pop? Who would you pick as the best debut in the history of K-pop, or the perfect male specimen in the world of K-pop? Who's number one when it comes to being the perfect man? Who's the number one being the perfect woman? And then, the most scandal, the one group or person who did something that's so shocking that it just shocked you to the core. Who is it, or who was that group? I'd like to know these things. So that's something, if we could, we'd do an episode about your decisions, your choices, your award winners. But we don't have that ability right now because we just need your comments. So, okay.
All right, let's put a wrap on 2020. It was a really sort of hectic, crazy, amazing whirlwind roller coaster of a year that was really fun to do this podcast, at least. I can't say that for every single aspect of 2020, but yeah, Henry, this was an amazing experience, and 2021 is just more of this, more How Not to K-pop. Very excited to bring more scandals out there into the world.
We've already got some episodes done, set. They're ready to be released, and you've already gotten a taste of 3 groups or idols with their scandals, which we just mentioned. That one's being Red Velvet, EXO, and BTS. Yes, the BTS group who released songs like DNA, Dynamite, Fake Love. We've got a lot to go through, and it doesn't seem like it. It's pretty crazy. But there's a lot that we have to talk about. And that's how not to K-pop,
Absolutely. We want to bring out these incredible stories that have happened in this really amazing world of K-pop that's slightly hidden from Western folk, but if you dig deep enough, you can find so much information, and that's what we're doing for you. We're digging deep, hunkering down, doing our research, and then giving you guys what you need to know about K-pop in context of 2021 K-pop groups. You'll be like, oh, right, that group kind of sounds like this group because of this.
It's been great. It's been a wild ride for 2020, but 2021 is going to get even wilder. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's sign off for the last time in 2020.
Okay, let's do it.
No, you first. You sign off first so that I can end the show.
I don't know what that means, but do I outro the show now?
Like, have a good year, everyone. Bye-bye. Stay safe on New Year's.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Happy 2021. And I'll see you guys next year and in the next episode of How Not to K-pop. This has been Henry and
I'm Sean. How Not to K-pop, end of year. Till next time.